They have announced their unofficial depth chart, and this is per the ClevelandBrowns.com website for their third preseason game versus the Rams, and to tell you that the Browns fandom, more specifically the Shedeur Sanders fandom, is crashing out on a new level. And I got to tell you, right now,
the Cleveland Browns just turned their season into a full-blown comedy special, naming Shedeur Sanders as the fourth-choice quarterback. Fourth, like he's standing behind the mascot and the guy who fills up the Gatorade bottles, waiting for his moment to shine. Fans aren't just mad, and they're furious. Social media's on fire. Hashtags are trending, and you'd think a revolution was brewing outside the stadium gates. People are talking about canceling tickets, burning jerseys, and launching the Boycott Browns movement like it's a new NFL franchise. It's not football anymore. It's primetime drama. The Browns didn't just fumble the ball, they turned their entire franchise into a blooper reel. This is the team that could find a way to lose at a coin toss and still argue about who to blame afterward. After decades of inventing new ways to embarrass themselves, the Browns somehow managed to outdo themselves, naming Shedeur Sanders. Yes, that's Shedeur Sanders, the guy who dragged excitement, viewers, and national attention to Cleveland. As the fourth quarterback is like telling LeBron James to sit out because the mascot's on a hot streak. Who's running this team? Football experts or a pack of raccoons fighting over leftover nachos in the front office? Fans aren't just irritated, they're on the brink of mutiny. Message boards are exploding, talk shows are roasting the decision, and Browns fans are writing tweets that sound like Shakespearean heartbreaks. Because here's the brutal truth. When Shedeur steps on that field, ratings don't just go up, they blast off. Every camera points at him, every commentator wakes up.
That's why I say the fans need to give them a reason to hold them accountable. Stay home. They just make the wrong decision again. If they go sending the fans right back down that same road, of hopelessness, that they just stuck, that they not gonna get it right. Hold them accountable. This is that year.
And suddenly, everyone's watching Cleveland like it's the Super Bowl. That one preseason game with Shedeur, it didn't just trend, it dominated. Millions tuned in for a meaningless matchup just to catch a glimpse of him. Normally, preseason games are background noise while people mow lawns or check out barbecue grills. But with Shedeur in the mix, it became must-watch TV. The guy turns preseason into prime time, and now, the Browns benched their best show. What were they thinking? And what did the Browns do with this golden ticket? They torched it, folded it up, set it on fire, and tossed the ashes straight into Lake Erie like it was part of a ritual to summon disappointment. In a league where quarterbacks are the marketing department, Cleveland decided to stash Shedeur Sanders in the fourth spot, like he's some kind of emergency plan you break out only if a meteor wipes out the entire roster. It's beyond insane. It's self-sabotage with a playbook. Without Shedeur, the Browns aren't a football team.
Jackson and him and everybody else that we talked to have said that Shedeur looks good. He looks really good.
Yes.
He looks better. And we got Zach that say Dylan Gabriel ain't even an NFL quarterback.
That's true.
So how is it that this man can't get a rep with the one, but that non-NFL quarterback can?
We all
what
agree
sense
with that.
does that make?
It makes no sense.
Clearly, the guys running the team disagree with us.
Man,
it doesn't make any
and they're
sense.
the ones.
What are y'all trying to? What is the goal of this?
They're a traveling theater act pretending to play NFL football. Every Sunday turns into an improv show where the punchline is always the same. Cleveland loses again. Without him, there's no hype, no spark, no magic. Just gray skies, bad play calls, and fan frustration that could power the entire Rust Belt. And that playbook, it looks like it was drawn up on a crumpled receipt from Applebee's during happy hour. But the second Shedeur hits the field, it's like lightning strikes. The whole stadium buzzes. Suddenly, Cleveland isn't a meme anymore. It's a movement.
Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, didn't even get not one. I mean not one. He got 0 reps today during practice for the Cleveland Browns. Hey, put the chart up there. That's the ESPN Cleveland tracker for today's practice. Listen, family, I don't know what's going on with Shedeur and this Cleveland Brown quarterback situation. It just may be time for Shedeur to go in there and talk to somebody. They say, hey, what's going on?
The same city that suffered through heartbreak, draft disasters, and quarterbacks who came and went faster than TikTok trends finally had something real. Shedeur gave them hope. For one brilliant preseason moment, the Browns weren't a tragedy. They were the story. They trended across social media. Jerseys sold out overnight. Even fans who swore off the team came crawling back like maybe this time will be different. The dog pound was barking again, louder than ever. And then, just when the hype could have carried them into a whole new era, the Browns did what they do best. They buried that momentum 6 feet deep, like a dog burying a bone it never plans to dig up. Instead of building an empire around the spark they had, they stomped it out. And now the whole league's watching in disbelief. Social media is blowing up like a halftime fireworks show gone wrong. Hashtags everywhere. Hashtag free Shedeur. Hashtag boycott Browns, and the instant classic hashtag 4th QB my foot. Fans are dragging the Browns like it's a full-time job. Season ticket holders are threatening to cancel, merch sales are nosediving, and the entire football world is calling this move the NFL version of tossing out a winning lottery ticket because you didn't like the color of the ink. What kind of logic is that? When Shedeur hit the field, something shifted. The Browns didn't just get better.
That's why I say the fans need to give them a reason to hold them accountable. Stay home. If they just make the wrong decision again, if they go sending the fans right back down that same road, of hopelessness, that they just stuck, that they not gonna get it right, hold them accountable. This is that year. This is that year. That's what I say.
They got an identity. The energy was unreal. Fans were buzzing. The stadium was alive, and for once it felt like hope had moved into Cleveland. People weren't just showing up for greasy nachos and emotional suffering anymore. They came to see Shedeur light it up. Broadcasters couldn't stop talking about him. Even casual fans who couldn't find Cleveland on Google Maps were suddenly tuning in just to see this kid play. And here's the part that really stings. Rival fans were jealous. Imagine that. Other teams looking at Cleveland and saying, yo, they might actually have something special. For a franchise that's been the league's running joke for decades, that moment felt like divine intervention. The Shedeur Sanders effect wasn't just hype, it was destiny tapping the Browns on the shoulder and saying, it's your turn. But instead of answering the call, Cleveland told destiny to take a number and sit behind the third string backup. 4th on the depth chart? That's not a role. That's an insult wrapped in a clipboard. Think about it. That's like booking a first-class ticket and then being told you're flying standby on a propeller plane. Watching the game from the sidelines while your shot at glory soars without you. That's what they did to Shedeur. And the craziest part, Shedeur doesn't just bring skill, he brings fans, real ones. Younger fans, Colorado diehards, Deion Sanders followers, even people who've never watched a down of football but tuned in because of that name. Sanders.
Saying I gotta get my stuff together. I just came from Japan, gotta get my sleep together. But every time, I keep telling you, leave my nephew Shedeur alone. But this is what we're gonna do. We gotta stick together. That's your brother. That's your nephew. That's your cousin that they're messing with now. I don't know what some of us would think.
The man's a walking brand. Every time he steps on screen, the NFL prints money. But somehow, the Browns are the only ones who didn't get the memo. And yet somehow, the Browns looked at all that momentum and said, nah, we're good. They chose comfort over greatness. They rolled out a quarterback lineup that practically yawns mediocrity. It's like they saw a Ferrari in the garage and decided to keep driving the lawnmower instead. To put it in perspective, the average Browns preseason game barely pulls the crowd of a high school pep rally. And this is the guy, this guy, they want holding a clipboard instead of the ball. It's beyond clueless. It's tragic comedy in shoulder pads. Fans have every reason to boycott. If there's one thing the Browns actually understand, it's money. And that's exactly where fans are hitting them. Ticket sales dropping faster than an intercepted pass, merchandise sitting on shelves collecting dust, ratings tanking like a bad stock market crash. And maybe, just maybe, when the stadium starts echoing with empty seats instead of cheers, the front office will realize the obvious: you can't build a winning franchise on bad choices. But the wildest part? Everyone saw it coming. This franchise has made failure an art form. They've fumbled away first-round picks, burned through talented players, and turned potential dynasties into disaster documentaries. The Browns could literally trip over gold and still end up broke.
To mess around and put Kenny Pickett as QB2. Well, son of a bitch. I don't know what to tell you guys. But they have put Kenny Pickett as QB2 right there. He hadn't played a snap this preseason at all during a game. Dylan Gabriel is QB3. Shedeur Sanders is QB.
Making Shedeur Sanders quarterback 4 isn't just another mistake. It's the latest chapter in their long-running saga of self-destruction. And here's where it gets real. This boycott might actually work. Fans aren't bluffing this time. They're done. Jerseys are being returned, season ticket holders are demanding refunds, and every Cleveland talk radio show has turned into a 24-hour roast of the front office. The city's fed up. Without Shedeur, the Browns don't just lose excitement, they lose relevance. They become background noise in a league that's serving up fireworks every Sunday. The Chiefs and Eagles are out here feasting on prime rib while the Browns are microwaving instant ramen. And the worst part? They had the cheat code sitting right in front of them. Shedeur Sanders, and they still tossed it away like it didn't matter. And here's the wildest twist.
Can you get me up out of here or something? He didn't receive not one rep. Not one rep. Is he still injured? He was out there juking. He been out there juking. And you gonna tell me he's not healthy to get a rep? Or did they have to use Shedeur injury to get Kenny Pickett some reps?
Fans are starting to act like Shedeur isn't even a Brown anymore. They're treating him like a hostage trapped in a franchise that has no clue what to do with him. It's like watching someone win the lottery and then complain about the taxes. Social media is full of people begging for Shedeur to demand a trade, to break free, to go somewhere that actually appreciates what he brings. Because let's be real, any other franchise would have had his face on every billboard, every commercial, every hype video in the country. They'd build an empire around him. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, the Browns are sitting there like, nah, you're fourth string, grab a towel and fetch the Gatorade. It's comedy and tragedy rolled into one. They've got a walking headline, a future star, and they're treating him like an intern. Every other team in the league would kill for that kind of spark, that charisma, that marketability. But the Browns, they're letting it rot on the bench. At this point, Shedeur's only move is to keep doing what he does best, ball out every single time he touches the field. Because without him, the Browns are just another forgettable team lost in the NFL shuffle. No hype, no energy, no soul. Let's be honest, the Browns need Shedeur Sanders way more than he'll ever need them. He brings the spotlight, the buzz, the dollars, the entire vibe. He's the reason a meaningless preseason game turned into a national TV event. Without him, Cleveland football slides right back to being the league's favorite punchline. A meme with a stadium attached, and the fans know it. That's why they're furious.
Or at least the Shedeur Sanders fans, that doesn't do it justice. It's funny. It is funny. All the Cleveland fans in the cry room because it's not Sanders. I mean, this comment section is wild.
Why they're boycotting, why they're laughing through the pain. Because here's the cold truth. When you've got a star, you don't bury him on the depth chart. Unless, of course, you're the Cleveland Browns, the only team in the NFL talented enough to take a golden goose and somehow turn it into chicken nuggets. And here's the part that hits the Browns right where it hurts. The money. The NFL isn't just about touchdowns and tackles. It's a billion-dollar business built on TV contracts, sponsorships, merch sales, and selling fans the illusion of hope with every $12 cup of watered-down beer. But what do the Browns do? They bury their biggest draw, Shedeur Sanders, at quarterback 4.
Or at least the Shedeur Sanders fans, that doesn't do it justice. It's funny. It is funny. All the Cleveland fans in the cry room because it's not Sanders. I mean, this comment section is wild.
That's like owning a brand new Tesla and deciding to commute to work in a busted horse-drawn carriage. Sure, you'll technically get there, but at what cost? Fans aren't clueless. They know exactly what's going on. They know Shedeur equals ratings and ratings equal cash. The night he took the field, the preseason game almost shattered viewing records. And let's be honest, nobody tuned in for the Cleveland skyline or the weather forecast. They tuned in because Sanders made the Browns must-watch TV. For one glorious night, Cleveland wasn't a punchline, it was the main event. And now, after tasting that excitement, the fans aren't about to sit quietly while management fumbles the bag again. This boycott isn't empty noise.
About it, Colin, stop. Please stop. Please stop. And at the end of his rant or whatever, he says the life of the party. Colin, stop, bro. Stop. Because you're running Shedeur's image into the mud. How the fuck is he silly and goofy? Where the fuck did that come from?
It's a warning shot. These are Browns fans. People who've survived decades of football trauma that would have broken lesser fan bases. They've stood by draft busts, watched careers implode, and cheered for quarterbacks who couldn't win a coin toss, let alone a game. If these fans are finally saying, enough is enough, oh, you better believe they mean it. The rebellion has already started. Outside the stadium, chants echo like battle cries. Fans are waving signs that scream QB4 equals empty seats and tweeting lines like bench Shedeur, bench our wallets. It's pure chaos and pure Cleveland energy. They figured out how to hit the team where it really hurts, reputation and revenue. Meanwhile,
man, it's a shame, dog. Shedeur went out there and shined. You hear me? He showed up and showed out at the end of the day. And Kevin Stefanski, you haven't developed not one quarterback. Look what you did to Baker Mayfield. You hear me? I'm not understanding your infatuation with Dylan Gabriel. You hear me?
The Browns front office, they're acting like everything's fine, pretending this is business as usual. But here's the truth. Business as usual in Cleveland means disappointment on repeat. And this time, the fans are done paying premium prices to watch their franchise drive itself straight into another disaster. But here's the brutal truth. Without Shedeur Sanders, the Cleveland Browns are just background noise in the NFL. They're like the opening act at a concert no one came to see, politely strumming along while the real crowd's still outside buying nachos.
So I know how his mom and Dion feel about it. They strong people. Especially Dion, he's strong. He know what it is. I don't know who told y'all race is still a factor. They want all of us to see how they can dog us out. And some of us sit back there and still say, yes, sir. Yeah, they right. Because somebody you don't like, somebody you don't know. What hurts me is because Shedeur has a heart as gold.
Shedeur brought the spotlight, the cameras, and the energy. He made people look, talk, and actually care. And how did the Browns thank him? By telling him, good job, kid. Now go sit behind 3 quarterbacks who couldn't draw ratings if they were juggling flaming footballs on live TV. What a joke. The ripple effect from this mess is massive. TV networks live for ratings. Love them. Sponsors, even more. And they all love Shedeur Sanders. He's market gold, pure excitement wrapped in cleats. If this boycott keeps spreading, the numbers will start sinking fast. Suddenly, the same networks that paid millions to air Browns games will be asking, wait, why are we broadcasting games nobody's watching? Sponsors will start disappearing faster than Cleveland's playoff hopes, and all because the front office can't recognize the star sitting right under their noses. They had a chance to milk that attention, to ride the hype wave, to finally look competent.
False narratives about Shedeur, he not ready. He a fifth round for a reason. The other night showed us differently. He played under the bright lights. He been doing that. And this on the NFL level. He was calm. The team, he was leading the team. He was putting the ball where it needed to be. He was scrambling. Boy was out there looking great. Awesome. So I would love to see Dylan Gabriel. Mr. I'm not tall enough. Mr. can't even see over the old lineman. You hear me?
Just once in franchise history, but instead they're doing what the Browns do best, fumbling their shot at relevance. They're dropping their golden opportunity faster than you can say, factory of sadness. And the fans? Oh, they're done being polite. This isn't just about football anymore. It's about respect. It's about standing up for the one player who actually gave them something real to believe in. They're tired of broken promises, tired of wasted potential, tired of watching hope get benched while mediocrity gets celebrated. The message is crystal clear. If Shedeur Sanders isn't going to play, fans aren't going to pay. Period. The Browns have two choices. Wake up and realize they've got a once-in-a-generation talent sitting on that roster, or keep ignoring the outrage until that boycott becomes reality. Because without Shedeur Sanders, the Browns don't just lose games, they lose fans, they lose money, and they lose the soul of their franchise. So if you want to see the truth keep coming, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you on the next one.